And this is just regards into everything, in regards to everything that I'm going to share today in this video, all the material. Okay, sorry guys, my battery ran out and I got cut off. So just finishing up what I was sharing on this situation. This is a part 2, by the way, for those who may not know. May want to check out part 1. But let's continue in this. Let's look at another one of these so-called faith leaders. This supposed reverend talking about, I'll be there raising my voice. No more platitudes, thoughts, and prayers. We must act now. This so-called reverend is saying, no more prayers. Okay? That's the part I care about. Whatever about the thoughts, that's one thing. I don't care. But no more prayers. We must act. Okay? So this is what we're looking at unfolding. This is the spirit that's moving very, very, very rampantly to set up this agenda, this antichrist, anti-biblical, anti-Jesus, opposite of the gospel, opposite of everything the Bible says. This spirit is speaking the exact opposite, antichrist, okay? The opposite or against Christ. I also wanted to read this other quick little part. See, this is another part of the agenda, what this agenda is doing. The chorus of faith leaders from different religious backgrounds. So this is bringing together all the different religions as well. This is just another platform to bring together all the religions, to see how much they have in common, bring them all together. They're already tossing prayer out the window. You're already tossing the power of Jesus out the window. So when you get together with all your little buddies who are of all these other faiths and these false gods, it's just going to all blend together. There was this one part I wanted to read you guys. Let me see. Okay. Now I want you to listen carefully because we're talking about the beast being subtle, right? So on face value, this may not sound that bad, but you have to listen to the subtle, condescending undertones. And this is supposed to be a quote-unquote faith leader talking about, from a spiritual perspective, there's nothing wrong with thoughts and prayers. Prayer can be helpful and even transformative. So for me, that's kind of condescending because it's saying prayer can be helpful. Helpful is the guy at the grocery store who offers to carry my bags out to my car. Helpful if I drop something and somebody picks it up for me. Or if my husband offers to do the dishes, that's helpful. For me, in my opinion, in my spirit, this is very condescending and degrading to the power of not just prayer, our prayers, but the power of Christ and what he can achieve and what he can do, which is anything, according to his will, if we ask him. So to me, that's kind of saying that prayer is helpful, is kind of downgrading it and saying, oh, yes, a nice little thing. It can be helpful or even transformative. You know, yes, it can help in tragedy. It can assist. That's basically like a little assistant. It can help assist. No, Jesus isn't assisting or helping. He's leading, okay? He is the king. He is in rulership. He's leading the situation. His power is empowering the entire situation. He's running the show. He's not just an assistant. Excuse me right there. But yeah, so I just thought that it's so subtle, guys. It's so subtle. This spirit is creeping up so sneakily and subtle, you won't even catch it or notice it on face value. So let's continue. Then it's saying, for congregations, prayer can be, now this isn't the world. These are so-called Christians, so-called reverends, so-called pastors, so-called rabbis, and then mixing in and combining with all these other so-called religious leaders. For congregations, prayer can offer comfort in times of sorrow and serve as the first step towards organizing a joint response. Now notice they mentioned the active prayer, maybe doing it, maybe not. It can be helpful. It's a nice thing. It's an option. Yeah, it's one tool that can be useful. It can do good things. Then they jump right into, after that, people moving on, making a response, organizing and making things happen with their actions and works, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but they forgot the middle step between action and prayer is also listening and asking God for his guidance, his direction, his wisdom, his response. If you see, they completely leaving that part out. It's all about, yeah, maybe we'll pray, maybe we won't. It can be helpful. It's nice. It's not really all powerful. It can be a tool that can assist. And then after that, we just move forward with our works and our power, doing what we need to do. It completely left out actually seeking God or anything like that. So let's move on. The last thing I wanted to do was play this clip for you guys, and that's why I put up that Fair Use Act. Right quick. Just listen to, this is one of the survivors, one of the students, as I said, this Antichrist spirit, Obama's influence and leadership, and then not just physically, like I said, but the spirit at work in him is pouring out onto not just these youth, but also the whoredom harlot church, and also just all the people in the world, and in this country, in Babylon, who are just becoming yoked up with this spirit and following along with the crowd and not even paying attention to how literally the spirit of Antichrist is rising up and challenging and coming against Jesus. So let's listen to her speak about prayer.
Like saying your thoughts and prayers and all these things, but it doesn't make a difference if nothing ever changes. Like, this happens over and over again, and people are dying, and it seems like it doesn't matter, because like, what are thoughts and prayers going to do when people are already dead?
So, don't worry about not seeing it clearly. That wasn't important. I just wanted you to hear it. And this isn't the first one of them to speak out against prayers and thoughts and prayers. They're all over the place on social media platforms, all over the news, everywhere, speaking against prayers don't mean anything. Prayer doesn't do anything. So if you heard her, let's see if I can get it queued back up.
Is very
saying your thoughts and prayers and all these things, but it doesn't make a difference if nothing ever changes. Like, this happens over and over again, and people are dying, and it seems like it doesn't matter, because like, what are thoughts and prayers going to do when people are already dead?
So, reading between the lines, she's basically saying, without coming out bluntly and saying it, subtly, undertones, that spirit at work is basically saying prayers don't do anything and prayers don't matter. That's basically what she's saying, if you want to just be blunt and get straight to the point. She, it's kind of dressed up so it sounds kind of normal or acceptable, but really when you peel all of this back, it's really just saying that prayers don't mean anything, prayers don't do anything, therefore Jesus has no power, God doesn't do anything, he's not paying attention, he doesn't answer us, he's not willing to do what needs to be done, so we need to take everything, the power and everything, into our own hands and fix and change the world ourselves with our own works. And that's basically the main platform that the Antichrist runs on. 666. Number 6, the number of man, which is the works and actions of man above God, man depending on its own power instead of the power of Christ. So I wanted to share that with you guys. God bless you. And we will see what else comes next. Bye.